Hello comic book fans, this is your host Travis Collins, aka Duck Punch, and as promised I'm back for a very special episode looking back at Brightest Day and Justice League Generation Lost, both of which wrapped up last week. We're going to start with just a quick look back at what all's happened. Blackest Day ended with the resurrection of 12 heroes and villains. 4 of which we're not going to really talk about because their shenanigans play out elsewhere, but here we go. Brightest Day begins with everyone, especially the 12 people that got resurrected, all wondering around why in the world are we back. This is especially important for Deadman, aka Boston Brand, who is still wearing a White Lantern ring for no discernible reason. As it turns out, everyone has problems. Aquaman keeps summoning dead fish. Martian Manhunter is being terrorized by a psychotic female Martian. The Hawks are hunting down their old arch-nemesis Hafset, and Firestorm might blow up and create a new Big Bang. This is bad. Deadman eventually hooks up with Hawk and Dove, the former of whom wants him to resurrect his brother. This causes the White Lantern entity to freak out a little bit and tell everyone why the heck they got brought back. This is also the first mention of the Chosen One. Of course, everyone's just a little hacked off about, what they have to do. Whilst Aquaman is trying to find the new Aqualad before his in-laws and Black Manta can kill him, Martian Manhunter finds out that not only is his psychotic stalker at female Martian another Green Martian, but she's also really screwed up in a lot of ways. Oh, and did I mention that the Hawks got transported to another world where Hawkgirl's mom and Hafset are trying to summon an ultimate power? And if that's not bad enough, Firestorm accidentally summons the Black Lantern version of himself, now called Deathstorm, who wants to actually blow up the universe. Meanwhile, Maxwell Lord, whom last we saw was getting his head turned around Exorcist style by Wonder Woman, is trying to take over the world by wiping everyone's mind of his entire existence and all the things he got into trouble with. Except it doesn't work on the old members of his team, the Justice League International. This means that Booster Gold, Fire, Ice, and Captain Atom are back together, as well as the new Blue Beetle. Yay! Things get really screwy when Max resorts to his old MOs and starts sending OMAX just everywhere, as well as taking over the international spy organization Checkmate. But at least they get reinforcements in the form of a very hilarious new red rocket. This is great until Max sends a small nuke to wipe them out, but it's okay because Captain Atom is able to absorb the explosion. It just causes him to jump forward in time. Don't worry, he'll be back. The team infiltrates Checkmate and barely makes it out, but it's enough to cause Max to make a personal appearance and take control of Fire. When that doesn't go well, he calls in all of his big connections and gets Magog and the Metal Men to do his dirty work for him. And yes, that's a bad thing. Meanwhile, the Hawks lead an army to take their enemies on Hawk World. Yeah, don't ask. And it turns out Hawkgirl's mom has bigger plans involving the Predator, the entity of the Star Sapphires from Green Lantern. Speaking of Green Lanterns, the Martian Manhunter is having this crazy illusion created by his female psycho that makes him think he's a member of the Lanterns, but of course he sees through it. Oh, and Deadman does the dirty with Dove. True story. Aquaman and Aqualad make nice and go pick a fight with the Zebels, that's evil underwater people, but Firestorm gets blasted into the antimatter universe which means he is now right in the sights of not only Deathstorm and his cronies, but also a little guy who goes by the name Anti-Monitor. And if that's not bad kooky enough, it turns out that Deadman is now being dragged around by the Ring to find folks to fulfill their missions. First the Hawks after they break the reincarnation cycle, then Aquaman after he stops the Zebels, and then Martian Manhunter after he chooses Earth as his new home and, well, killing them again. All of this has been leading up to the big finale, which sees the rise of the Dark Avatar, a force of nature that has been corrupted by the presence of Black Lanterns back in Blackest Day. And he wants to wipe out all life. Surprise! Turns out that all those people that Deadman was re-killing were actually being repurposed to act as elemental agents to fight against the Dark Avatar, until Deadman takes his role and resurrects the Chosen One himself, Swamp Thing. This takes us to the final issue. While all that's going on, our friends over in the JLI are having some serious problems with Magog attacks, only to be killed by Max Lord, and have it pinned along with the deaths of thousands of innocent bystanders on Captain Atom. Max's plan is revealed as being one of not only taking control of the world through Checkmate, but also getting revenge on Wonder Woman. The only problem is that, just like no one can remember him, no one seems to be able to remember Wonder Woman, because of all the kooky stuff going on in her book. This doesn't stop him from sending more good guys, including Power Girl, to take a stab at our heroes, while Max himself swoops in and kidnaps Blue Beetle for his own nefarious purposes. The team is able to track down Max to his new base and are almost able to rescue Blue Beetle. Then Max shoots him in the head and apparently kills him. Only it turns out that he's not dead because Blue Beetle's armor is apparently the most amazing thing since ever. What's more, not only does he know what Max's plan is, but he knows how to get there first. There being the location of Wonder Woman. Except, Max is already on the way, along with some seriously big and seriously pissed off Super OMAC of Doom. While the rest of the team is taking it to the big OMAC, Booster decides that it's time to settle things once and for all with his old boss. Set up ready for the final issue. Alright, so now we're up to our final issues. Brightest Day number 24. So here we are with the final issue of Brightest Day. A couple of weeks after the terrible experience of reading number 23. And frankly speaking, it didn't get any better. In fact, if it's possible, it actually got worse. Not only were we treated to most unfathomably obtuse instance of continuity porn in recent memory, we also got zero closure. Nothing. Alright, spoiler warning again for those that missed it earlier. Hawk Girl is dead again. Hawk, not Hawkman, but Hawk, apparently failed at his task, which makes no sense, but whatever. And, oh, by the way, Dead Man is dead again. What in the world? I don't understand this. I mean, I could live with Swamp Thing's return. I think it's dumb and random and serves no purpose other than to go, aha, to old comic nerds. And even in this story, he doesn't really seem to serve a purpose that someone else couldn't have done just as easily, but whatever. But for Johns, the writer, to end this the way he did, without any sort of real resolution or explanation for just why these people had to be brought back, is mind-bogglingly bad. This was a waste of my time, my energy, and my money. This was probably the biggest disappointment I've ever read in comics. The only good thing I can say about this is that it's over now, and that maybe something interesting will happen now. Conversely speaking, we look now at Justice League Generation Lost, number 24. Generation Lost had a great ending. While it left it open-ended for a new JLI series, which is teased out by the last page, the overarching story is wrapped up pretty nicely. The OMAC Prime is destroyed. Max Lord is totally and in all ways thwarted, sort of, and the team is stronger than ever. And unlike its sister series, this one managed to instill hope without being preachy or overly complicated. You read the series, and you think, you know what? This works. I'm not sure where it's going, but it works. This was a lot of fun, and while the previous issue really kind of bugged me with its conventionalness, I could see that it actually did make a small bit of sense now. This is how you end a mini-series, folks. Alright, closing thoughts. Brightest Day. Brightest Day could have been great, but somewhere about a quarter of the way through, it turned into just another exercise in a writer picking up his pet characters and propping them up without any concern for the franchise writ large. And that's what bugs me the most. This doesn't feel like it changed anything. We're back to where we were. And that's annoying as crap to me. Generation Lost, on the other hand, didn't try to change the world. What it did instead was give us a team of outcasts and oddballs, very kind of obviously playing to an earlier crowd, people that liked the old JLI series, but you didn't have to understand, try to have read that. I had never read it to understand what was going on. It has this team that comes together to take on a really, truly bad man. And they won. Okay, so we're getting a new JLI series. That's nice. I'll probably read it if Winnick's on board. But to tell the truth, this series was such fun that if the team had ended in 24, I'd still be happy. So there you go, guys. My farewell to Brightest Day. As always, leave your comments. Let me know what you thought. I know you'll probably disagree with me on pretty much everything I said. Have a great day.